Magic the Gathering is a game that features a vast and continuous multiverse of stories set across countless planes that incorporates numerous themes. One of those themes is horror. With the beginning of October, so begins our countdown to Halloween. 30 days, 30 decks, 30 different creatures of the night, all culminating with a special 31st episode on Halloween Day itself. For those of you with a profound fascination of the macabre, I invite you to join me on this venture through 30 days of night. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm MTG Budget Brew, and welcome to day 7 of our 30 days of night. Today we're building around a creature type that has long been forgotten by Wizards of the Coast, but is a Halloween staple. Today, we build a witch deck. Today's witch of choice and our 4 rares for today's deck is Sedgemoor Witch. 3 and a black for a 3/2 human warlock with menace that has ward, pay 3 life, and has magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token, with when this token dies, you gain 1 life. As you might notice, Sedgemoor Witch is not actually a witch. Witch is not a creature type that exists within the game of Magic. There is wizard, and there is warlock. The other witch-themed cards that we're running in today's deck are A-Cauldron Familiar, Cursebound Witch, which is in fact a warlock as well, Eyetwitch, this is the witch that runs the MTG Arena servers, and Witch's Oven. After that, we have one of the best cards ever to pair with Sedgemoor Witch, and it is Plumb the Forbidden. It is 1 and a black for an instant that says, as an additional cost to cast this spell, you may sacrifice 1 or more creatures. When you do, copy this spell for each creature sacrificed this way. You draw a card and lose 1 life. So by sacrificing multiple creatures to Plumb the Forbidden, you can get additional copies of Plumb the Forbidden, and that will trigger Sedgemoor Witch multiple times, creating you multiple 1/1 pest tokens. It's just a really nice synergy. One of our main win conditions for the deck is Blood Artist, 1 and black for a 0/1 vampire that says whenever this creature or another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. We're running a full playset of Hunt for Specimens as a way to generate more pest tokens. And for removal, we're running 2 copies of Cut Down and 4 copies of Infernal Grasp. Our curve for this deck is super low, so we're actually only running 21 Swamps and then 1 Gate of the Black Dragon, but we're not done yet. In this deck, we're running multiple cards with the Learn mechanic on it. Learn says you may reveal a lesson card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand, or discard a card to draw a card. So because of that, we actually have a sideboard for this deck. The lesson cards that we're running in our sideboard are 1 Environmental Sciences, 2 Necrotic Fumes, 2 Containment Breach, and 2 Pest Summoning. As we hop over to my Untapped account, you can see that I'm currently 3-1 with this new witch deck. I play tested this deck a little bit less than I normally do, but that's because I actually see this archetype somewhat often. An aristocrats style deck built around Sedgemoor Witch is something that I already know is fairly consistent. Not to mention the fact that the Cauldron Familiar Witch's Oven combination is very powerful. So I'm confident that this deck will perform well. And with that said, I think it's time we go hop into some matches. Oh wow, here we are in game number 2, and our opening hand is 1 Cursebound Witch and 3 Blood Artists. It's kind of a lot. It seems a little bit excessive, but it is our main win condition, so hopefully we can use it to our advantage. I'll swing here with our Witch, set our opponent to 19. They pass the turn with 2 mana available. We drew into a Sedgemoor Witch, so I think I'm just gonna play that for turn and hopes that it survives. Swing with the Cursebound Witch. Our opponent takes the damage. They go to 18. They do nothing. I'm okay with this. Unless they board wipe, then that would be kind of lame. That is hilarious. Our opponent went to our upkeep, had full control active, and then they just cast Orim's Chant, 1 white for an instant with a kicker cost of another white. Target player can't cast spells this turn. If the spell is kicked, creatures can attack this turn. So we kind of just have to pass. That's crazy. And I was just going to point out how cute it is that me and my opponent were matching. We both have cute, undead, blue cats as our companions. That was kind of rude. Now I don't even want to be matching with you. Our opponent kills off 2 of our creatures. They take a little bit of damage from Blood Artist. Play a Swamp. We're gonna play out another Blood Artist, as well as a Hunt for Specimens. Because our opponent isn't doing anything, I think I'm just gonna grab Pest Summoning. I don't think we're actually going to need removal. So we will swing for 1, set our opponent to 13. I kind of regret not grabbing removal, because our opponent just played Barbed Servitor. 4 mana, 1/1 indestructible construct creature that says when this creature enters, suspect it. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Most importantly, this card says whenever this creature is dealt damage, target opponent loses that much life. It is used in many OTK combos. So I think we're just gonna play out a Blood Artist and a Pest Summoning and swing our Cursebound Witch. And that'll be it. Oh, the Barbed Servitor can't block. I kind of ignored that. I didn't realize that that's what suspect means. I probably should have read it. A suspected creature has menace and can't block. Is that just part of the card? Why not just say this creature can't block and has menace? Why make that an ETB trigger? All right, I gotta think right now. They just played the Aura Enchantment Pariah, which says all damage that would be dealt to you is dealt to enchanted creature instead. So any damage that would be dealt to our opponent gets dealt to the Servitor, which he's going to aim back at us. However, Blood Artist doesn't deal damage. So I'm gonna block with 2 Pest tokens, and both of our Blood Artists are going to trigger, and our opponent's still going to lose 2 life. We can't Infernal Grasp the Barbed Servitor. It is indestructible, so I'm just gonna play out Eyetwitch and pass. I hold up both of our Pest tokens, our Witch, and our other Eyetwitch as blockers. Our opponent's about to play Repercussion. Whenever creatures dealt damage, this enchantment deals that much damage to that creature's controller. Okay, this is getting weird. This is gonna start hurting my brain a little bit. Okay, he is choosing to swing at us again. We're gonna block with Eyetwitch and Cursebound Witch, so that way we can get 2 more lessons. His Servitor takes 2. Okay, 1 damage. We're taking 1 damage from Repercussion. We're taking 2 from Barbed Servitor and another 2 from Repercussion. I don't know. Wait, does this go infinite? Oh, I didn't know this goes infinite. I did say that Barbed Servitor is used in a bunch of combos. I don't remember having seen it be used with Repercussion. Whenever I play with Barbed Servitor, I play it out and then drop like one really big, powerful spell that deals a bunch of damage to the Servitor all at once and then immediately bounce it to my opponent to kill them. So that's just game over. We die. I really regret grabbing this Pest Summoning now. If we had access to exile Barbed Servitor, that's just like game over. I guarantee it. How was I supposed to guess that this is what our opponent was running? Oh well, we lose game 2, but I'm not mad about it. That's not a combo that you see very often. All right, here we are in game number 3. Our opening hand has a Blood Artist and a Sedgemoor Witch. That's pretty good. Couldn't ask for much more. Our opponent is running a deck with 65 cards. It pains me to see that. I think I'm gonna start with Hunt for Specimens, and I'm going to grab Pest Summoning again. Even though it was our undoing last game, we do have another Hunt for Specimens in our hand. So if I do get to see what our opponent's playing, which appears to be Azorius Flyers, we can go from there. I think I want to be greedy and set up the Sedgemoor Witch. I don't think our opponent is going to be running that much removal. So I'm going to go for the greedier play, get out the Sedgemoor Witch. So that way, when we kill one of their flyers with the Infernal Grasp, we'll get a 1/1 pest. They play an Empyrean Eagle. Okay, that's not removal. That's a good start. We take 4 in the air. That's no big deal. All right, we have 4 mana here. So what we can do is Infernal Grasp the Empyrean Eagle. We get a token from that. And then we can Hunt for Specimens. We get another pest token. And we can grab Necrotic Fumes to be able to kill one of his flyers. We can swing in here, connect for 4. Set our opponent to 16. Play the Raven's Warning. First part of the saga says create a 1/1 bird. With flying, you get 2 life. Second part says whenever one or more creatures you control flying deal combat damage to a player this turn, look at that player's hand and draw a card. Ew. And the third part says you may put a card you own from outside the game on top of your library. Well, they also have a sideboard. What a copycat. Okay, we have 4 mana, which is unfortunate because we need 5 to use both of our removal spells. Our opponent is going to be able to look at our hand. They already know 2 of the cards in our hand, but still, it's annoying. I think what I'm going to do is play out Blood Artist, Infernal Grasp their token, and that will allow us to swing in for 7 damage. We set them down to 10. I was going to say our life total is getting a little bit low, but we are tied with our opponent. We're both 10 and 10. And if we draw into a Plumb the Forbidden, we can draw a ton of cards. We have a lot of pest tokens. They are going to Ossification our Sedgemoor Witch. Great card for that deck. I would 100% be running Ossification in my Azorius Flyers deck. But luckily for us, they don't develop any more creatures, and in fact, they don't even swing at us to see what else is in our hand. So I think the smart thing to do is to cast Necrotic Fumes, exile one of our pest tokens, and exile their Watcher of the Spheres. We'll set up our Witch's Oven and swing for 4, setting our opponent down to 3, and I think this might just be game. They do get to put a card from their sideboard into... Oh no, on top of their library right now, not even into their hand. Wait, do they get to draw into that? When does this happen? After your draw step. Okay. No, we should be fine. Even if they have a board wipe, unless it was a board wipe that exiles, our Blood Artist would just kill him. He plays out a Squid Illusion with flying, and that's kind of just game. We just swing out with our pest tokens. He can block 1, and then he takes 3 damage and dies. All right, good game. Hell yeah, good game 3. They can get life gain through Shadow Spear. We're out of gas. And I have a card that I can't cast in my hand. So we're going to scoop it up there, and I'm going to go fix our sideboard real quick. I just removed the 2 containment breaches, and I'm going to instead add 1 copy of Inkling Summoning in case we ever need a flying blocker. And I will add 1 Introduction to Prophecy. Yeah, I guess my brain didn't see an issue with containment breach because Pest Summoning has green and they were right next to each other. I was like, oh, I can cast Pest Summoning. I can just cast Containment Breach too, I'm sure. Don't know. Not entirely sure. Weird lapse. Weird little brain lapse. But let's go hop into another game. All right, we are on the draw. And once again, Blood Artist, Sedgemoor Witch, opening hand. Actually crazy. Almost as crazy is the fact that our opponent is running an 88 card deck. Almost as crazy. Turn one, we're just gonna set up Eyetwitch. If Eyetwitch dies, we can grab... Oh, I can't even grab Containment Breach. I was gonna say we can grab a way to destroy our opponent's Phyrexian Reclamation. All right, never mind. Ooh, I don't even care what our opponent's doing. We're gonna go to combat, swing for one. We're gonna play Witch's Oven and our Cauldron Familiar. We can finally get our cat oven going. When it enters, our opponent loses life. We gain a life. We're now going to sacrifice our cat, make a food token. We're gonna sacrifice a food token, bring our cat back. Our opponent loses another life, going down to 17, and we gain a second life, going up to 22. Beautiful combo. Very annoying to play against. Our opponent just discarded a Transmogrifying Wand, which is a 3-mana artifact that says this enters with 3 charge counters on it. Pay 1, tap this, remove a charge counter from it, destroy target creature. Its controller creates a 2/4 white ox creature token, activate only as a sorcery. That is such a random card. And it's from M19, which is a very, very weak set because it is a core set. Anyway, we're gonna swing for 2, set our opponent down to 15, and then we're going to sacrifice our cat, make a food, sacrifice our food, bring back the cat. Our opponent's down to 14, we're at 23. We are sitting pretty. Our opponent just played Defense of the Heart, normally a terrifying card that says, at the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent controls 3 or more creatures, sacrifice this enchantment, search your library for up to 2 creature cards, put those cards onto the battlefield, and then shuffle. You know what is hilarious about the fact that we have 3 creatures on the field? We have the cat oven combo. I can just kill our cat and then not bring it back during our opponent's upkeep. You can activate Cauldron Familiar's ability at instant speed. So we're going to go to combat. We're going to swing 5, set our opponent down to 9. I'm going to, I'm actually going to play out Blood Artist. Then, oh wait, I messed up. Well, I messed up. I wasn't supposed to play the Blood Artist. Okay, we're going to sacrifice our cats, set our opponent to 8. You know what's crazy? I'm actually going to Infernal Grasp. I can't even Infernal Grasp our, if I do that, Sedgemoor Witch triggers and we get another 1/1. This is really bad. I just threw. I'm throwing. Okay, we just end the turn, hold up our Infernal Grasp, and hope we don't lose the game on the spot. That's very, very awkward. All I had to do was not play Blood Artist. All right, hold on, everyone, hold on. Our opponent grabbed Vein Ripper, 6 mana, 6/5, flying ward, sacrifice a creature. Whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. And Karavek the Spiteful, 4 mana, 3/2, other creature get -1/-1. Okay, so that killed off our Blood Artist and our Eyetwitch. Right now, we're grabbing a lesson card. Do I need more removal? Do I care? I have Infernal Grasp. I think I'm just gonna grab Pest Summoning. Okay, we lose 2, our opponent gains 2. We lose 2, our opponent gains 2. That's super annoying. Oh, and I was still supposed to be holding full control. Opponent's going to Cultivate, Resolve. Okay, you know what? This is fine. Both of those creatures have Summoning Sickness. What I can do now, bring back the Cauldron Familiar. Oh, that's bad. Cauldron Familiar dies on ETB. I was going to use that as our sacrifice creature for Infernal Grasp. I'm gonna cast Infernal Grasp right now. Target Vein Ripper, yes. A Resolve, Jesus Christ, just go. Make another Pest token, oh my God, which dies to the Vein Ripper. Dude, I just threw like twice. What, 2 games in a row, right? Did I throw last game? The game before? I don't know. That was such a terrible misplay, and I hate my life for it. That was so bad. After all of that, our opponent's at 15, we're at 14. That never should have happened. I actually want to vomit. I'm going to Shame Scoop, and we're going to play another game because we should have won that match. But I threw by playing Blood Artist. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. That loss should not be counted against the deck's stats. That was entirely operator error. The deck was in such a winning and dominant position. Our opponent had nothing. All they had in their hand was a Cultivate. That's all they did after their enchantment triggered. And we didn't have to let it trigger. All right, here we are in another game. Finally see Plumb the Forbidden. It's not helpful right now. We finally see it. In fact, we see 2 of them in our hand. Going to cast See the Truth. 1 in blue for a sorcery. Look at top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 into your hand. Rest on bottom of your library in any order. That's all that matters. Okay, turn 2. We're going to cast Hunt for Specimens. We're going to grab a Necrotic Fumes. Grabbing removal just seems like a good idea. I won't be greedy and grab another Pest Summoning, even though I really like the card. It's just so thematic with Sedgemoor Witch. Don't kill my pests. What was that? They bounced our token to our hand. That's rude. Well, our opponent's tapped out, so I don't have to worry about a counterspell. So I might as well get Sedgemoor Witch down right now. We have Labyrinth of Scophus, boss. I don't know. I'm gonna play Solemn Simulacrum. Gonna go grab a land. What an interesting choice of ramp. You're in Simic colors. Why would you use Solemn Simulacrum as your ramp card? Like, there's gotta be better options, right? Like, I know you have better options. I really don't want to Infernal Grasp for this, but I'm going to. Our opponent's going to get a draw. Really, I just want to get a Pest token off of the Sedgemoor Witch while we can. I'm then gonna play out Eyetwitch. and Cursebound Witch. And then we are able to swing in for 3, set our opponent to 17. We're going to win this match, I'm telling you. Karn's Silex, 3 mana legendary artifact enters tapped. Players can't pay life to cast spells or to activate abilities that are mana abilities. Pay X, tap this, exile the Silex, destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X or less. Okay, so they can destroy our entire board next turn, which means that in response, we're going to hold up Plumb the Forbidden. We're going to go to combat. We're going to swing 6 at our opponent, set them down to 11. He's going to fog in response. That's lame and boring. They pay 3, they tap, exile their Silex. They're going to destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 3 or less. In response, we're going to Plumb the Forbidden, and we're going to sacrifice 4 creatures, so we will get 4 copies of Plumb the Forbidden. That is 1 draw, 2 draws, 3 draws, 4. Eyetwitch dies. We can grab another card. I'm going to grab Pest Summoning. Cursebound Witch dies. I think this is the first time we get to draft a card. I'm going to grab A-Cauldron Familiar because it synergizes with our deck already. And now his Silex will destroy nothing. Cool. All right, we go to our turn. Our hand is very full, so we need to start dumping cards. I will play out Blood Artist, another Blood Artist, A-Cauldron Familiar, and we pass the turn. Our opponent plays See the Truth again. I would love for him to play a creature or a planeswalker that we can destroy or exile with Necrotic Fumes, but I don't feel like he's going to do that. I don't like decks that don't play creatures. Creature is the most prominent card type in all of Magic. There are more creature cards than every other type of card combined. If you're playing a deck that doesn't have creatures, I think you're a bad person. Anyway, they gain control of our Eyetwitch. Good for you. It is too bad that we don't have a Sedgemoor Witch out. I would love to get a token off of this cut down, but we're going to cut down our own Eyetwitch that our opponent stole. Blood Artist will drain our opponent for 2 life. Oh, do we get to learn off of that? Or is that triggering for him and then he's just gonna fail to find? Oh, it was just triggering for him, but he failed to find. Lame. That would have been wild if it worked for us. All right, we're gonna play out Pest Summoning, but I guess it wouldn't make that much sense. And an Eyetwitch. We'll go to combat. I'll swing my Cauldron Familiar, hit our opponent for 1, set him down to 13. We hold up 2 mana in case our opponent has another board wipe so that we can Plumb the Forbidden in response. Surprisingly, our opponent does have creatures in their deck, and a very respectable one. They play Palaka Worm. 7 mana, 7/7 Worm with Trample. It says when this creature enters, you gain 7 life. When this creature dies, draw a card. Unfortunately for them, you will not get that death trigger because we are going to exile that and exile one of our pest tokens. We'll then go to combat, swing 3, set our opponent to 17. They're going to See the Truth for a 3rd time. They're going to play another Karn's Silex. Means they're going to try to board wipe us next turn again. We're going to play out a 3rd Blood Artist, and we're going to hope that this is enough damage. I'm not doing the math. Set our opponent down to 14. Can we kill right now? 1, 2, 3, 6, 18. I think this should be 18 damage, right? We're going to Plumb the Forbidden, sack everything. That's game. Right. Trigger's taking a minute to stack. It's going so slowly. All right, that is game. All right, and that's game. Whenever all these triggers are done. All right. That was good. That was satisfying. I like this deck. This deck is fun. All right, and with that, we're going to end 6-4 with a 60% win rate. Although that win rate should be a little bit higher. It should be 7-3, but I did throw one of our games. So don't hold that against the deck. That was operator error. That was on me. But either way, that's a solid win rate. And that was even including the versions of the deck where we couldn't even cast all of our sideboard cards. If you haven't played around with Sedgemoor Witch or the Cat Oven combo, I think you should give it a shot. Cat Oven was a menace in Standard when it first came out, but it's from Throne of Eldraine. I think it's been long enough that people will not see you as some sort of delinquent for using the combination. In fact, this version of A-Cauldron Familiar is actually nerfed, and I never looked up to see what changed about the card, but if you look to the left of the name, you'll see a little arena symbol, which means it did get modified. And the first line of text is actually how they nerfed the card. A-Cauldron Familiar can't block. I think it's a really good change. Otherwise, you could leave the cat up during your opponent's turn, declare it as a blocker, and then sacrifice it to the oven in response, and that would be something that you could repeat every single turn, and that sounds really, really horrible to play against. That was a good nerf. It's a good change. But the deck is still a lot of fun. Cat Oven, still a nice combo. With that said, if you liked the video, you should like the video. If you like me, the video, and Magic the Gathering, you should consider subscribing because that will get you more of all 3. And thank you for joining me on day 7 of our 30 days of night. I hope to see you guys tomorrow.